Yeah. Still gonna have to let me get back on this one. Yeah.
This thing on? Yeah, it's on. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This be JH. Trying to run down a little bit for you, just a little bit, just so you can hear what I gotta say regarding your first 120 days, first 4 months, your first 90 days, your probationary period while you're working at the post office. Yeah, it's one of those things where people are wondering what they can do and what they can't do. Well, common sense would tell most people to just be on your P's and Q's. Now, we have real life situations, real life people, real life circumstances that overcome us or that we deal with on a regular basis. And I'm gonna make this a real quick video because this is something I don't really like to touch on. You've grown, you finally made it into the post office. Now it's up to you to keep your job. But let's just say, before you start working, you already had some type of surgery set up and planned. Or you have some big event, a graduation 2-3 months out in advance. It is of dire importance to be very clear when you first start. Everybody asks me, oh, well, am I going to be able to take off? I don't know. They tell you that you're not supposed to take off within the first 20 days, 120 days. But we, again, all have real life circumstances. So what I would suggest, what I would do is be very, very upfront when you first start. Your first day there or your first week there, you say, listen, if you're starting in January and you know you have a graduation coming up and you guys had this big thing planned in May, May 25th, I'm going to need to have off that weekend because X, Y, and Z. I'm not asking to take the day off. I'm simply asking for you not to schedule me on those specific days. Now, I'm letting you know now, and as we get closer, I'll remind you of those days. That way, you're not technically requesting the days off. What you're doing is giving a heads up of days not to be scheduled. That is most important because it's all about the presentation. You keep the information line open. You keep the line of communication open with your supervisors, and they respect that more so than you coming in and saying, hey, I gotta go to the doctor, and I'll let it be known when you get there. I have a doctor's appointment in 3 weeks, and you just started. Please, on this specific day, I may not, I'm not saying I can't work, but this is the time my doctor's appointment is. If you could schedule me after that time, or can I leave at that time, that'd be great. Or don't schedule me for that specific day. That way it doesn't interfere with your attendance. Your attendance is key. You don't want to ever have to call in. Emergency situations do happen. Every place handles it different. I don't know how they're going to handle it. That's entirely up to you and your supervisor and your demeanor, how you carry yourself at your job. If they see you're not a bullshit artist, and I'm keeping it real, and you don't always have a situation, one day your tire was flat, the next day you whatever your situations are, because we all have them. You're able to make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation when they do that review and they come back to you and say, well, this time you called out. You don't want to call out. You just need to make it past that first 120 and keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean. It's very difficult, but if you want this career, keep your nose clean. Keep that open communication with your direct supervisors and your superiors, and that way it's easier and a smoother transition for you to start your new career. I didn't want to touch on it, but there's been some emails and people ask me some questions, and that's my best advice. when it comes down to your first 120. Tell you 90 days working, 120 days, basically 4 months, because you don't work 90 straight days. So again, open communication. If you need days off, let them know from day one. Please don't schedule me. Don't say, oh, I need this day off. Please don't schedule me on this day. Covered your bases. You sound professional. Knock the ball out the park. Doochies.